Hi, I'm Terry Tomlinson. My goal of this video is to give OTS a better understanding as a hauler's insight view of it and how I look at things from this end and how the reality of what we do and how we do it is different than what's done there on paper. I'm a strong believer that this program's been very healthy for the province of Ontario. Andrew Horstman has done an excellent job in bringing processors to Ontario. If anything, he's brought too many, but make no mistake, when processors have come to me wanting my tires, they've all told me, Andrew Horstman always made it clear to them, make sure you have access to tires before you open your plant. So in saying that, I feel Andrew's done a very good job as the executive director of Ontario Tire Stewardship. But what we are lacking, Andrew, is I think you need to come sit at a processor and spend some more time with us and understand how we do it, why we do it, and the reason doing it, instead of just clawing back money that really doesn't make sense the way I look at it. I still don't understand why I get all this money clawed back. And once they do their audits, I know less about how they do it than I did before we started. But I've read the program, I understand the program. I've been around this tire business my whole life. I don't know anything else. And I really need you to understand how we're feeling and other haulers are feeling, and to take a look at this video. Challenge me on anything that I've said. I'm going to ask the processors to put comments, to evaluate to the Rubber Association and yourself that everything that I'm saying to you is true. And I challenge you with anything on this. I actually do. And I'm hoping to reach you so you can take some time and spend some time with some haulers and understand our issues. Like I said, I have no problem with what you've done for the province. I respect your job. I have some issues at the bottom end here. I think it needs some of your attention, and hopefully you'll understand how we are. Thank you. What we're doing here this morning is to hopefully help OTS understand what Tomlinson Systems does with their tires and how we handle it, and hope for you to understand why our weights are the way they are and why they fluctuate. First we got here is 4 ag tires. You'll see 4 ag tires we've piled on the scale. The average on these 4 is 211.2 kilos, which is not near the 240 that you have on paper. Now, it would get higher. Your ag weights, I would have to say, are correct overall due to the big ag tires. But in this area, we don't get the big ag tires like you would in Leamington or Southern Ontario. We're dealing with more smaller orchard farmers in this area. Okay, you can see the weigh scales at 0. We are going to take a passenger tire here. There's 2 of them we're going to put on the scale. And we got a 225/50/17. As you can see, we put this passenger tire on the scale. We come up with 8.4 kilos. It's a dry tire, not an ounce of water in it. And we've invested over $1 million in roll-off boxes to be able to produce a dry tire as the OTS plan as issued under their hauler agreement. Now I will take the same tire, same size, the mate to it. I will roll it over here and we'll put it on the scale for you. And we're rolling this tire and you'll see the same tire weighs 13.4 kilos. And the reason that is, oh, pardon me, 13.0 kilos. We'll roll that same tire out and show you the difference of dry tires to wet tires. As you see, no water fall out of it. When I rolled it, as I take the water out, which we don't have this problem with our boxes because every box has a roof on it to keep the tires dry and extra cross members for snow load. So we'll put that same tire after I take the tire. There's still a little bit of water, but we've got the weight down to 8.8. That's the difference that you can have in a wet and dry tire. Here we go. We have 11/22/5 Bridgestone steering tire, 14-ply tire. We're going to put it on the scale. This is a brand new MT truck tire, 11/22/5. As I said, we're going to roll it on the scale. We'll set it on the scale. get it to stay still here. We come up with a brand new tire at 49.8 kilos. We will roll this truck tire off and we will roll the mate to it on. Roll it away and we'll bring the mate to the tire on. As I'm rolling it, it's the same tire, 14 ply, and we'll roll it on the scale and show you what a truck tire that's stored in a dry container compared to one that's stored. As you see, no water was rolling out of it. We will weigh it up with water, and we come with 66.4 kilos. This is a wet truck tire with water in it. I will take that same tire, roll it off, and empty the water out for you. Grab the squeegee when I'm done. We'll empty all the water out. Okay, now we've got 90% of the water out of it. And we'll take that same tire back and weigh it up. As you see me take the water out of it, there's still a little bit in. And we got our 49.8 with the water out. This is 11/22/5 MT, as I said previous, and that's the difference from a wet and dry tire. So when Tomlinson ships its tires out of here, our tires are 99.9% dry. You can verify that with Treadcraft. You can verify that with Ridge Recycling and any of the car tire processors. We delivered every one. You can verify it with CRM, Liberty, and Ideal Rubber, and National Rubber. Now, as an example, when we ship tires to Treadcraft, they can't take the bias ply tires and they can't take the blown out tires because they need to pull the bead out to be able to process it. So we actually sort tires for the processor for their needs. But unfortunately, the weight is a major discrepancy between the processors. No bias ply to Treadcraft, no cut tires to Treadcraft, and no blowouts to Treadcraft. So what we do is we take them blowouts and everything and throw it through a shredder that Ridge Recycling has provided us with so they could get our rubber. And what we have here is this is basically what Ridge would get from us, and we run through the shredder, the blowouts, and this can be verified with Treadcraft that they wouldn't accept these tires. That's why we have to sort them out, and there's quite a weight difference to what Treadcraft would get for an MT truck tire than what Ridge would. Treadcraft, our truck tires average between 40 to 46 kgs in the average to Treadcraft, and that's a whole tire. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 blowouts with 124.8 kgs. And if we go by the sheet of OTS's sheet, them 4 tires should be weighing 200 kgs, which we just have an average just over 30 kgs going to Ridge Recycling. And that's why there's a difference. And we will show you later on what we do with these and how we shred them. And now we have, this is a cut tire. It's not a blowout tire, it's a cut tire. And the reason they cut that tire is to cut it off the rim. And we send our tires out to get the tires cut off the rims. The scrapyard gets to keep the rims, and we get the tire back so we could send it to a processor. This tire definitely has to go to Ridge because it's recycling. CRM cannot pull the bead out of it, nor could National Rubber or Treadcraft due to it being bias. So we'll weigh this bias ply up, and it's a cut tire, and we come up with 37.0 kgs with a full bias tire, not blowing out. And as an example, why we take so much concern on explaining to you how clean our tires are, in the course of a year, we pull 250,000 pounds of inner tubes out of our tires here that we sell that wouldn't go over the scale to a processor, and that's another thing that keeps our weight down. As you can see, I've got this 1020 truck tube in my hand, and I will throw it. It's a 1020 truck tube. It's the tube that would have came out of a tire of this size, and I throw it on, and we go up a couple more kgs. So that's another reason Our tires will weigh into a scale very light, dry, clean of any debris, and we recycle everything, and we do take this tube on and we sell it. As you see, when the tube comes off, the difference in the weight. And like I said, there's 250,000 pounds a year that we sell off these premises that we sell, and we can back that up with U.S. custom documentation. And another thing we do, any car tires or 750/16s that we have, every tube comes out of it. So if you get a 750/16, we'll pull the tube out of it, and as you can see, it's 1.2 kilos that we've just pulled out of a passenger light truck tire. And this is why we have the difference in our weight, because we are, well, a lot of people say very clean in the industry, but we recycle everything we possibly can. Here I'm going to demonstrate you the size difference and why I think it's very important that OTS changes their paperwork to have light truck tires, medium truck tires, or large truck tires. The two tires I'm going to show you will be the smallest that they have in their category is a medium truck tire, and the weight difference right up to their largest medium truck tire that's in the same sequence. If you look on New Brunswick, on their stewardship, you'll see they have their tires a lot itemized, a lot more better, and the weights can be a lot more directed at the size of the tire. Here we have a 17.5, that's your smallest of a medium truck. So if we put that on the scale, that goes 24.4 kgs. That's your smallest. We'll roll that here, set it in front of you. We will come and we'll grab your largest, which is known as a super single, for 22.5. And as you can see, I grabbed one of the heaviest ones I could get with the most tread on it. And we'll put that on the scale. And we come up with 84.6. If it was a 1-to-1 ratio, and we took the smallest to your category and put it beside the biggest on the scale, we come up with 109. We are still short 11 kgs to what we're supposed to be, or pardon me, we're now over 9 kgs with the weight difference. Unfortunately, a lot of these don't get processed. You know, they're only on the steering of cement mixers and dump trucks. The ratio of these doesn't outbalance it. Another thing, these tires have a very good life. 60% of these wide-base tires will go to the Mennonites north of Kitchener for their wagons, and they'll be into use, and they'll be in use for reuse for another 10 to 15 years minimum. So a lot of these don't even go to the recyclers. They're made for reuse because they're still worth $90 bald, and they run on farm wagons and will last forever. And once again, we're doing what OTS likes, the 3 R's. So as you see, the weight difference that we have. I will go now to the OTRs where it's 60 kilos average for an OTR. I've picked out 2 small OTRs. I will lay them on the scale. Put these on. This is a mining tire, wide wall. We will set that on the scale. That's a small OTR. Lay it down flat. As you can see, we have 73.0 kilos, which is supposed to be 120 kilos. Big weight difference. We will take another small OTR, and this will be about the lightest you'd ever find. We will put it on top of the 73. And you'll see now we're with the pair of them, we're at 138.6 kgs far from the 240 that we should be. That's just one example when we shred these and send them to ridge, why our weight will be very low on our small OTRs. And as we've got these OTRs on the scale, I want to bring you another example of industrial tires. When we were shipping industrial tires, we would load a truck and we would take the industrial tires, and to load that trailer to its maximum and be efficient, as Andrew Horstman mentioned in August 2010 Tech Committee, he would like to see us efficient. We will take tires and stuff them inside, and that's how we would get low cube, where we can get a few tires put in. As you can see, that fits in there quite well, and then we can pull this out. Bring me the two small steel banded ones, and even these are ones with tubes in them. The tubes are pulled. These are now a steel ring industrial tire. As you can see, we can put that right down to the bottom, and we can put it in such a way, we can pile them and make them that you can't even see them, as we just stuck two industrial tires in a tire. We will now pull this tire off, and you'll see now the industrial tires are sitting flat inside of a tire like it would be in a trailer, and we will pull them out. And you will see Tomlinson was known for packing a trailer very tight. But unfortunately, on paper, it looked like we went over our kgs. Pull this one off. And I want to bring up the weight of the industrial tires, as I've had this issue before. We got these industrial tires here. We picked the smallest tube type industrial tires, which we get a lot of here. These are the smallest. As you can see, 8.4. Supposed to be 40. Right there we got 5.8. Supposed to be 40. When we take these, put them to the side and go to the ones with the steel band. Bring me the largest steel band first that we use. This is the most common forklift tire. We stick it on this. It's got a steel band in it. We're only coming up with 27.8. So if we take three different sizes, bring me the medium first. With two of them, where we're supposed to be 80, we're only at 39.2. These both have steel bands. Bring me the third one, the smaller one. So if we got three of each class, we realistically supposed to have 120 kgs with three of them. We're only at 45.2. Please take them off. This is something that needs to be addressed, and these are ones with steel bands. Our steel band ones would not go to Ridge Recycling, as they don't take them. They go to recycling in Brantford, Ontario, where they buff the rubber off the OTRs. I will bring you the most popular industrial tire that we get in here, brand new Bobcat tire. And it's a 1016, and this is the most popular one. Brand new. This is one for our own machines. And it's the most popular industrial tire we get, and you'll see this, definitely the size difference between them as I hold them up. We're only coming up with a brand new Bobcat tire, a 1016.5, 19.2 kgs, brand new. There's no way we come even near the industrial of 40 kgs per industrial tire, not even with the steel band. And hopefully this will be some help for you to understand, and we will be taking all this stuff out and shredding it on camera for you. I'm ready. I'm sitting here with one of the smallest Bobcat tires you would see in the marketplace, and we'll weigh that up too to give you an idea. And we come up with 14.6 kilos. Then we'll have one of our largest outside forklift tube type that would be out. And that's a bigger tire to be able to go outside. And we're coming up with 11.6 kilos, far from 40. Okay, I'm sitting here with two steering tires of Ags. they go through as passenger light truck in that category. These are off the steering of farm tractors. And just to show you the weight difference, when you put them in to the category of passenger tires, we come up with 7.2. As you can see, that's a very narrow implement tire. 7.2, that will be going as a PLT. And here's a wider steering tire off a tractor. And as you can see, it comes up with 9.8, and you can see the wideness. Just to show you the different weights and wider tires that go as PLTs, you can see as it goes. I will give you 2 racing tires, as we will pick up racing tires. It's a seasonal thing, but we've got a couple tracks that we do. We get 2 or 3 bins a year out of each track as they save them, and we do it in the summer. We end it in the fall. As you'll see, this is a race car tire, 7.4 PLTs. Or kilos, pardon me, it's a PLT. The mate to it, 7.4. Also, if you read New Brunswick's website on their tire stewardship program, tires are itemized right down to wheelbarrow tires. I was very impressed when I went on it, and I think that Ontario, we could take an example and maybe modify some of our paperwork to make it a lot easier for our collectors to understand how to itemize the tires and for everyone to understand. The only way that I can get my weight on a passenger tire to even get close to average over 10 kilos is the tires that I ship to Liberty. We're sitting here with a tire, and this is a lock ring rim that we will not crush due to the lock ring on it. Liberty has the facilities in the machine to be able to dismount this, so we let this tire go there with a tube that would weigh in it, as you can see, 1.5 kilos, the rim on it. So here's an example. As we notice, our tires that go to Liberty go up because we throw this in there, and it's by a count. And this tire here, with the rim and everything, will go up to 40.2 kilos. The reality of it is, some people might say that's 3 tires if you go by weight, but that's not right. So my weight will be higher going to a processor that will take it off the rims. We do all our rims off here, but this particular one we can't due to the lock ring, and we send our bigger MTs out. But all our passenger tires, spare tires, and donut tires, you will see here we have our own machine here, and we take them off the rims at our facility. But this one we don't because it's just a little too big for our machine. Once again, that's a tire that's going dirty to a processor that will weigh a lot higher weight, 3 times as much as it should. And that's something that, every other tire we process besides that one, and in the course of 1,000 tires, we might get 20 or 30 of them. Here's a 245/16, 90% tread. This tire here will weigh up at 18.2 kilos when you're allowing us 10 on it. But unfortunately, this tire here, 80% of the size that we see, we can sell. We call them out. They can be balder. The balder, the better. The Mennonites up in, will buy them. Actually, there's a shortage of these this year. They buy them for their hay wagons. And the balder, the smoother. Rather than them buy a new tire at $180, they'll buy this one for $5 or $10, and it will last 15 to 20 years on their wagon. So we call all the heavy tires out of it, the majority of them, and we sell them. What we've done here is we've piled these tires one row on each side of the rack. We've got the spare saver tires on one side and the PLTs on the other side. We've mixed it. We got some LTs in the pile. We have 4 of them here, 5. We've put them all in the pile to give you an average of the weight and show you the difference, how things can fluctuate. About 6 months ago, OTS was here with approximately 14 people, and we loaded a bin where we could load 600 spare tires in that size bin, in that 14-foot bin, compared to 245 car tires. Our average fluctuates in a bin between 250 and 300 overall. But this will just give you an idea of the cube and the weight size versus. Mike will count these tires on this side for you with the chalk. We will count them out as he chalks them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Just write 25 on there. You'll see we've got 25 on this side. We're going to move to the next side with the camera and show you what's on the other side. Okay, we're going to count this side, and this is all spare tires that are come from an auto wreckers. And when you pick up tires at an auto wreckers, you're guaranteed 20% of the tires out of an auto wreckers will be spare tires, because there's 5 tires on the car when you add the spare tire. So when you pick an auto wreckers, it's 20%. Reality of it is it's more like 30% out of an auto wreckers, because you minus what they sell off for used tires, and you will come up with 30% spare tires from an auto wreckers. You won't come up with that with a tire dealership, but on auto wreckers you will. Mikey will count. You'll see the same cube. To understand the cube difference, he will count these for you, or mark them and I will count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Just mark this one. You didn't chalk it up. That was okay. The next one will be 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and you got this one here, 43, 44. You'll see at the same cube, we have 44 tires in the same cube as you would on the other side of 25. We will take these 44 tires while the film is rolling, Mikey and I, and we'll pile them on the scale. As you can see, it's 0 rated. And there we are with a 0 rate on the scale. We will pile these on the scale for you and see what we come up with weight. Mikey, you grab the one side and we'll just pile them all up here. We'll put them in piles. You're still filming us? Good. Yeah, put the, I don't know if they're all going to fit. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Put 10 in each row. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 10. 11. 11 in that one. We need to get 44, so if we put 11 in each tier, we should be able to get 44. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2 more in yours. That's 11. As you can see, we've got them all on here. We're putting all 44 on the scale at once. It's roughly 11 in each tier. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. As you can see, put that on, Mike. You forgot the chalk too. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's 23. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That'll be 35. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Be 46. spare tires here weighing up 210 kgs. On paper, it should be weighing up 450 kgs, less than half. As you see, we're going to take these 25 tires and put them on the scale. We've put back the spare tires back in the rack. We will count them now and put them on there for you so you can get an idea what they will weigh. These are the average from 13 to 16 to 18-inch car tires. Leave that one for the top. But that's a LT. As you can see, we got the SUV tire here. We've got 25 tires, which should give us 250 kgs. And with the norm, and this is all different size, how we would take them to a processor, and we're still only coming up with 211 kgs after we took the lightest tires out, and this is the average that we would do. What we do here now is we have a shredder from Ridge Recycling they provide us with, and we give them all our ag tires, and we throw all the tires that can't go to Treadcraft. As you'll see behind me, the tires in the rows, everything's laid out here as we dumped it to get a proper count. And them tires are sorted to go to Treadcraft. They're the whole tire that they can use in their process. And the blown out tires that they can't pull the beads are like this. And you'll see the ag tires and the small industrial tires that we run through the shredder. And you'll also notice that the shredder even cleans any debris out. As you see underneath the shredder, it's very clean. As we go on, you'll see debris will come out of there, and it helps keep the tires clean for the processors. We have the racing car tires on here, and the reason we have the racing car tires here is that, as you've seen earlier, the weight's very light, but it's high in cube, so we shred it and we send them to Ridge for the lower cube. And you'll see the Bobcat going, and also over here you'll see some brand new tires. We'll shred them for Ridge too, because we've promised the customer that nothing will be called out of it, and these brand new tires, because of adjustments and other reasons, will not go back in service, and we will be shredding brand new tires in front of you. They have a gentleman that comes here and he watches and he trusts that we shred them, and he comes here to watch the shredding. It'll roll right out. See how it consolidates it? As you've seen, we've shredded the tires. It's almost 4:3 ratio. We can consolidate it. It goes up to us into a 60-yard bin that we take to Ridge Recycling. You'll see the trailers as we sort the tires out for Treadcraft, CRM, Ideal Rubber, Liberty. It's all sorted out and it goes on to the processor to their needs. Any of the processors, I will ask you to confirm this video that it's true what I'm telling the OTS on this, how we sort the tires, that each processor takes different tires and different needs. We've got this shredder that, like once I said before, Ridge has provided us with. We have one man on the controls all the time. It's got all the safety shutoffs for the gentleman on the Bobcat. If there was an emergency, he can hit it over there with the Bobcat, shut it off immediately. And this is what we do. And hopefully this is going to help OTS explain to them what we do here, why we sort tires the way we do. And the processors will support this YouTube video to understand and educate OTS that the reason why our weights are low is how we do it and how dry they are. Like I said, we will take a video of all the bins in the yard. We run over 200 30-yard bins. We run over 50, 60-yard bins. And we do have trailers out there, but we don't use the trailers as much anymore because workman's comp lifting them up this high onto a trailer, it's a lot easier to load into a bin on the ground. It looks neater and tidier on the collector's premises. And that's why what we do and why we do it. And hopefully this will be some help to you to understand the weights. And the weights are extremely off with OTS when you use a sorting yard as this compared to the average guy that might just pick up tires and have water and debris in them. There's no comparison on what we do here and how we do it. One thing I want to say that I think is very important to the OTS audit team, you should do your audits like the Department of Transport do. The Department of Transport, they go at places at random. They set up on a small road, catch trucks, make sure that their logbooks are up to date, that their circle check books up to date, and that they're doing everything right. I feel OTS should go to the processor's premises at the scale, do tire counts, see the difference in the weights from wet and dry tires. Because if the average person just goes in there with water in the tires and say, oh, well, OTS won't ask any questions as long as we average 10 kgs, that's not necessarily true. The count could be wrong then. As I showed you with water in the tires, how it can increase it up and still roll the tire without the water coming out. So my suggestion to OTS, you go to the processors, you get us haulers going into the processors, you pull our paperwork before we go on the scale to verify what we're doing true. That's how you get a correct audit. Not just sitting at OTS saying, well, this is the average on tires, because hopefully you can see on this video that isn't the way to do it. It's one thing of saying you're innocent and it's another thing appearing innocent and being innocent. What we have here with your weights is totally not true, untrue, I would say. In some cases, if I let tires go to a processor with water in it, yes, I could get my weights up to what you average them at. As you see, when it goes through a shredder, if there was any water in it, the water's definitely gone now, or any debris, and we will film over there. You'll see the debris after we cleaned up what debris comes out. And hopefully this will be some help. And I do encourage that you do random audits with the hauler going over the scale, unloading, counting them at the processor and back out. That way you'll get the true what's going on out there. And I welcome you any time at random to come to our premises at any time, or follow any of my trucks into a processor and do a count. As you see, we have bins. Our counts will average anywhere between 250 and 300. Yes, we can put 600 spare tires in one of our bins, but that isn't a reality. We'd never get 600 in at one time. I hope this will be some help for you and help you move forward and go on. Thank you for your time. This is an issue that I have a very hard time with OTS, and this has to go to the Rubber Association. Somewhere along the line, I have to be given an adjustment. I don't know whether I have to go to other haulers to make sure no one disagrees with what I'm asking. We have a real hard issue here that I've lost over $600,000 with OTS changing on redirect money, and I feel it's a very unfair practice. I am 2 kilometers from an area code where my building is. I'm not going to move up my building. We've spent over $100,000 in cement for OTS to load trailers and docks and everything. For 2 kilometers, it has to be adjusted for me. Here's a map. I don't get redirect money from Ancaster to Moose Creek, but I'm entitled to redirect money from Ancaster to Chatham. Unfortunately, why would I go to Moose Creek at 335 miles away when I can go to Chatham that's 141 miles away? But if I was in Brantford, which is 16 kilometers from me, I would be entitled for redirect money to Moose Creek. But I can take my tires to Brantford, give a hit form to Liberty, and they get the redirect money to Moose Creek on what they can't process. If I ask for a redirect to Chatham, which I'm entitled to, if Moose Creek didn't need tires, I would be paid to go to Chatham. But every time you ask for a redirect to go to Chatham, they say, no, Moose Creek could use them tires, you have to go there. So I'm forced, that makes financial sense, to go, I might as well go the 141 miles to Chatham with no redirect money where this area code would entitle me to, where I don't get the redirect money to go to Moose Creek because of the area code. I have a very difficult time with it. I would like OTS to take another look at it to see if we can have some kind of adjustment or a waiver for me. I'm not going to move this business. You know, I've been at this over 33 years. I'm not moving. There's over 10 acres at this facility. It's just not happening. And I'm not going to have a bogus address just to be able to get redirect money. Somewhere along the line, I don't think it's fair, and nothing against Liberty. I've had this conversation with Jeff Kendall. I have a very difficult time why I don't get redirect money and my competition does when we're so close. And when you see the mileage difference, it just does not make financial sense. it forces me to go to Chatham without redirect money. And if you go and add how many trips that I've done, it would be an awful lot of money. I'm not asking for the money back. I'm just asking moving forward that somewhere along the line that we can have an adjustment, or do I have to get other haulers to sign to agree with me being so good close to the boundary line? Somewhere along the line, 2 kilometers versus 200 miles, I think there should be some kind of adjustment. Thank you.